everyone, and welcome back to another video in my glitchy redstone series in which I do redstone without tutorials. These projects have been really fun so far, and I hope all of you have been enjoying them as well. Here are the rules to the series, and just as a reminder, the objective of the series is not for the redstone to be efficient, but it's for me to learn how redstone works and how it can be used. Perfection can come later. Also, I've never done this before, but if you like these videos, consider subscribing. I'm 3 subscribers away from 20, and I think that would be very cool. Now, on to the task. For today's task, we'll be doing the second part to Romygames comment, and we'll build an enchanting setup that allows you to change the amount of bookshelves and levels available. Let's go! Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is a little rundown on, enchanting tables and how they work. So in general, um, an enchanting table without any bookshelves will give you up to, I think, level 8 enchantments, if I'm right. And then from there, any bookshelf that you add will go like +1 and then +2, +1, +2, like that, until you get to 30. So if I add one here, technically the most I would be able to get would be 9. But the level of enchantments that you can get is also determined by how many levels you have, and I think also the quality of the thing that you're trying to enchant. So here we should be able to get up to level 30. There we go. But as you can see, all the other ones are like kind of terrible. So yeah, it's determined by many things. However, on this video, we're going to focus simply on the number of bookshelves that we have available. So the idea that I have, the very basic idea that I have, is to use a lectern. Let's do a little bit of stuff here. I'm thinking of maybe using a lectern to, I don't know where books are, so that you are supposed to put a book, right? So we can get a maximum of 15. So let's do that. So that when you pass the pages, you will get a different amount of power. So here, for example, let's make a little line. So there is on page 1, so we have a power 1, and then if we go to the next one, we have 2, and then the next one we have 3, and the next one we have 4, and so on and so forth. So the idea would be that each of those pages will raise an individual bookshelf by itself. So I guess I could also make it in groups and maybe divide it into 3 and make like groups of 3. I don't know. I'm not sure. I haven't thought that far yet into the design. Anyways, that's kind of the idea that I have. Now, the only problem that I have with this design idea is that the comparator will be very hard to hide because lecterns and um, comparators both occupy a 1 block space. So if I want to hide the lectern, it will need to be that low, like I want it to be up here. And that's not very good looking, and then also you can see the comparator from there. So I am not sure. I have not decided exactly how I'm going to do this design-wise, but I would like to try this first. If I cannot find a way to hide it, we'll figure something else. That's completely fine. So yeah, the idea is going to be that under each of these bookshelves, there is going to be a piston that when it receives the redstone signal, it's gonna pop the bookshelves up, and we're gonna be able to do more complicated enchantments on our oh yeah, on our table. And also we do have to be careful because if we block any of the spaces, that's less levels for us. So let's see what we get. Ah, not that bad. I don't think. I don't know. I'm not very good at knowing which enchantments are good. Anyway, yeah, that's the basic idea behind this. So let's get to work. Okay, so the first thing I've done is build a platform. And honestly, I mean, it's not too bad. Like it genuinely doesn't look that bad. I'm still not convinced, so I might try a secondary method of doing this instead of the lectern, but so far I think it works. So in theory, we're going to be hiding everything under this platform. So I'm gonna add the pistons, and then we're gonna get working on that and see how it looks. Okay, so there is now a sticky piston under every single one of the bookshelves, and now the idea would be to connect this somehow. So this is where it's probably going to be a bit fun. Now, I don't actually think that a book with 15 pages is going to work. In fact, the more pages you add, the sort of like more distributed the 15 resonance signal is going to be. So we're probably going to do more than 15 pages for this to work, especially because we have to account for corners and stuff. But I am thinking that it might work something like this, perhaps. Oh, we might need to push this off by one bit, actually, because it won't connect otherwise. Alright, let's move it then. Put it here, I suppose. And then, like this should in theory work. But here we already have 3. So here we will already need a power of 3 to be able to... Whoops, I took the book. To be able to even trigger one. And I don't even know which one I'm triggering. Oh. Oh, right, this might be a bit more complicated than we thought. Oh, wait, no. Actually, we can perhaps very easily do it like this. I don't remember. Nope, still triggering that one. God, sometimes I really do hate pistons. I love working with them, but also like they are hard to figure out how to trigger. Not gonna lie to you. Um, okay, so I think we actually need for this to work. We need the redstone signal to go directly into the piston. So it would actually look more like this. Now, of course, that doesn't work. So we need to push it back one more, perhaps, so that it will be like this. Yep. Now that would make it work. Still not ideal. Gonna have to think about this, perhaps. But yeah, that in theory is the kind of system that we're trying to create. So we do need to kind of calculate how much redstone it is. Oh yeah, that's not gonna... Oh, we can do repeaters. That way, yeah, we will need less signal. Okay, let me try to make the system and we'll see if it works. Okay, so we've run into our first problem, and obviously I knew this was going to happen, but it is that, you know, this is longer than 15 for obvious reasons. So for example, it does this to roads, I guess, or size, but it doesn't get all the way here. Why am I going so fast? So that is our first problem, and now obviously we cannot use a repeater for this because what's going to do is simply strengthen the signal back to what is it, 15, I suppose. But I am wondering if maybe comparators. I don't remember if... Oh gosh, this was one of the properties of comparators that they yep, they do. So now it's like this is... So this is 1, 2, 3. So this should be a 3 as well, and then this is a 4, 5, 6, I believe. So I think we can maybe fix this using comparators. We're going to have to see. Okay, so let me do some changes using comparators and we'll come back. Okay, it is now all successfully connected up. I had to do a little bit of a thing here so that the power would arrive differently, because otherwise it wouldn't have worked. But now we have to see if it's calculated correctly. I don't think it is. But okay, let's see. So we're at 15 here. Going to take the book, so it will all go down. And I'm gonna put it again. There's a power of 1. This is obviously not working because it's just emitting one signal. So with a power of 2, we get that one. With 3, we actually get 2, which is perhaps not ideal. Oh, because it is emitting the same signal. That it is true. Okay, so maybe I will need to let it go for 1 longer. Yeah, and then that will be 4. Oh, but now we lose this one. Oh, wait, this is complicated. Oh, maybe instead of that, we can do this one. Yeah, like that. That's 4. And then 5 would actually be, 4. This is all 1 more. Then that's another one. Yes. And then here we're gonna have 2 again for the same reasons. So we will need to delay it that. And then I'll put 1 up. Another one. Another one. And that's 2 again. Same reason as before. So if we change it like that, it does that. There's another one up. That's another one. Another one. Another one. And now the problem is that I think this is signal strength 15. So it will never get to this one here. Wonder if there's... Well, we cannot have a signal stronger than 15. So I think the best thing we could aspire to do... Actually, no, I don't think that's right. Oh, unless maybe... Okay, so I am thinking... Let me try to do another book. Quail. But this time we're gonna do 30 pages. So we actually have double. Not ideal, because you don't want to be turning that many pages, but alas, sometimes you just gotta... I love how it goes back like that, down like that. Oh, it's still giving us a signal of 1. Now the thing is that in theory, this will be so that every 2 pages, but it's still giving a signal of 1 at 1 page, so yeah, that's not ideal. That's not gonna work either. I need to brainstorm this one a little bit. Because the only other option that I have is to do this. Have it so that at 15. Oh yeah, that's not going to connect. Whoops. Having said that at 15 we can potentially do this maybe. God, how do I connect this? It's okay, it's fine. Maybe it is fine. I don't know. Do like this, I guess. Yeah, no, it's still the same problem of the signal not being enough. So I think that our next best option would be to move this. The only thing I don't like about that is that it's going to be off center. So, okay, I'm gonna take a minute to brainstorm and I'll be back with you. Okay, I found this solution entirely by accident, and it's that you can use a block. So that works. That works just fine, and it might even... No, actually it won't. But yeah, so now we have one, two, so on and so forth. But we might actually be able to get the signal to work, so that's two. No, that's three. Hold on, actually. 1 second. Yeah, no, that's two. No, so this was fine. Whoops. So this will be three, four, five, six, seven, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And now we still have one more for 15. We just need to connect it because I disconnected it. So that is actually 14. This is 15. And then... Is it 15? Let me check. Yeah, so 14 makes it all the way to here. This is 15. Um, what do I call this? I could... This is a bit complex because this block is powered. So if I do this, it's gonna be completely powered, and we don't want that. Because now if I do this, it's still powered, you see? So now I need to fix this retroalimentation issue, I guess. I don't even know what I'm saying. I don't know if that's a real word. How can I fix this? Okay, give me a second. I'm sure I'll figure it out. Okay, there we go. The solution was actually very simple. Again, using a block, I will only be transmitting the signal to one place, and it does still go down. There we go. So that is individually one by one. That looks pretty cool. There we go. And one will always be activated, but if you take the book, it goes down. Okay, so the audio got corrupted here, but what I'm explaining is basically that if you put the book, you will always get a signal of 1, but then from there you can just flip the pages to see how many shelves you want to have in total, and then when you take the book away, everything goes down. And then I'm explaining that I'm going to try a different input method, so let's cut to that. Okay, so this is the other possible situation that we could use. So the bad thing about hoppers is if you want individual ones, you have to go like with very awkward numbers. So I believe that it's like anything from 1 to 23. Thus like one bookshelf, and then from 23 to I think 43, those two, and then 64, those three bookshelves. So you would kind of need to calculate, I suppose. So here, for example, we have 4, and it's easy because you can just break it down in half stacks or quarter of a stack. But it's still like a lot of things. You could also go 3 by 3 by adding non-stackable objects, but yeah, I mean, not my favorite option. I think I still prefer the lectern, but you could also do that if you want to do something different, and a hopper would probably be easier to hide than a lectern. So there is that. But now I want to do something slightly different before we finish the video, and is that I want to make it so that it activates in a pattern, so that it like there's these two and then the corners and then this two, like kind of like a pattern, because I think it will look very cool if you could do that, and then it would activate this tree at the same time. So it would group them, so you wouldn't be able to do it individually, but I still think it will be very cool. So I'm going to rebuild this uh, right here to the side, and I'm gonna do that, and I'll see you all in a moment. Okay, there we go. So same setup, as you can see, it's the same little thing. So now I think that for this, it would be perhaps even easier. Let's see. So, oh, we forgot to pick up redstone repeaters. So, for example, if I wanted to do this, is it like this? Yeah, like this, for example. Do need to give them a direction so they would work a bit better. But we will have a comparator here and then this here. Then just let me get a book. Do I have any? I don't. Okay. I'll get a book and just do 15 pages. Well, I don't think you will need 15 pages for this one actually. Um, but that's alright. So that will be one, and it traces this two at the same time. And then we could go like that, like mirroring it, so that it's two, and we get the other level. And I think that would be pretty interesting. So I'm going to set that up, and then I'll show it to you. Hey, there we go. I've done it. It's actually quite simple now that I understand how comparators work a bit better. So basically, let's reset it, and then we put the book in, and that's one, naturally. Then we have two here. Page 3 gives us more. 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 7. We're just missing 1 here because obviously it won't get all the way over there. And now with this, we have 8. And in fact, in this case scenario, we could even leave the book here always, so that it will go up to 9. And that way, if we go back to 1, the book can always be there, and we would have no books up because we don't need the 5 power, and it also looks just, a little bit cooler when it races, kind of in cascade, I suppose, until we have all of them. So yeah, I think we've done it. I think that is pretty much it for today's video. So we have created a couple ideas on how to do a redstone enchanting system that allows you to select the level of enchantments that you can have. Now this one is a bit more aesthetic. It goes up by more blocks, um, by more, um, it goes 2 by 2, I guess you could say, two bookshelves each time. This one goes one bookshelf at a time, and the difference here is that this one goes kind of like a spiral, so it goes in one direction. And this one instead goes like a mirror, so it goes in both directions and then they meet over here in the center. So they're kind of the same, and you can use a lectern or you can use a hopper, I suppose. I personally prefer the lectern, even though it might look a little bit weird. I think you could potentially hide it by using like a slabs. What do I mean by this? So instead of doing the whole like thing like that, it will look less jarring if you have the lectern here, I'm gonna change this. If you have the lectern here and then it goes up like certain slabs, and I guess you could do that um, all around the thing to create this effect of like having a way to go up, which I think could look pretty cool. You could also do it with stairs, but because I'm using smooth smooth stone, I don't have stairs. But yeah, that's the general idea. I don't know. I personally really like this project. It was very fun, very simple, and I like the idea of kind of being able to define how many enchants or the level of the enchants that you get depending on how your book is set up. I think it's pretty cool. And it also lends to the fact that it looks really cool when you take the book and then it goes down like that in Cascade. So yeah, that is pretty much today's video. I honestly enjoyed this project quite a lot. It was small, it didn't take me long, but I had a lot of fun with it and I learned a little bit more about comparators, which honestly do more things than I thought they did. So that was pretty cool. As you can see, I also tried to decorate the setups a little bit more than usual. To make up for the fact that I always use dirt. I'm so sorry. You must be tired of dirt. But yeah, anyways, if you would like me to try doing anything, remember that I'm doing these things by myself, no tutorials, just try my best. If you would like to challenge me to create something with redstone, leave it down in the comments below. And I'll see you on the next video. Bye bye!